Hello to everyone. Today we are going to start with a new topic under the chapter Reproduction in Flowering Plants, and the topic is fertilization. Now, fertilization is the topic which is the upcoming main topic after pollination. Now, once the pollination has been done, the pollen grains which stick to the stigma and forms the pollen tube, as I have already told you, will find their passage towards the stigma. Now, if you see in this picture, this is the topmost floor of stigma. Now, stigma, when receives pollen grains, these pollen grains, they will absorb moisture from the stigma and they will start forming the pollen tube. This pollen tube will reach till the style. Now, as I've already discussed with you all, that the pollen tube contains the male gametes, and these male gametes are going to go till the ovary. Now, the entry of pollen tube into the ovule generally takes place by 3 ways. Now, children, there is one more very important thing, that this diagram which I am showing you is basically the practical for class 12th children. They have a slide preparation of pollen germination. It could be in spotting or it could be in slide preparation. So you have to make this diagram when you will have the practical. Now, I already told you that the pollen tube will find its way to the ovule in 3 ways. What are those 3 ways? Number 1, porogamy. Now, what is porogamy? The porogamy is entry of pollen tube through micropyle. Now, when entry of pollen tube takes place through micropyle, which I'll show you in the diagram, this is porogamy. If you see the pollen tube, the last part of pollen tube is this one. The pollen tube is entering into the ovule through micropyle. We already know the open part is called micropyle. So this is known as porogamy. But when the pollen tube enters through chalaza, we know that this empty portion above the embryo sac is called chalaza. So when it enters through chalaza, instead of micropyle, it is called chalazogamy. And in another one, mesogamy is either of any one integument. When pollen tube enters through any of the integument, it is called mesogamy. So these are the entry of pollen tube in the embryo sac through various routes. Now next, how does the fertilization takes place? Now I have already prepared a diagram for you all. Now, first of all, what is fertilization? Fertilization is fusion of male and female gamete to form zygote. The gametes, we know that the gametes always have n number of chromosomes. So gametes, they have n number of chromosomes, and when zygote is formed, it carries 2n number of chromosomes. So, how does the fertilization is brought by into the flower? So, we'll just see this. Now, as we know that fertilization takes place with the help of a pollen tube. In flowering plants, the fertilization takes place with the help of a pollen tube. So, this process is called siphonogamy. Siphonogamy means when pollination or the fertilization is brought about by the pollen tube. And this was discovered by Strasburger. So most of the time when they ask the scientist, who was the scientist who brought about the pollen tube, who brought about the concept of pollen tube entering and fertilization concept, you will always say it's Strasburger. Now if you see this diagram, the diagram of ovule has been already told to you. Now see this. This is stigma, pollen grains and the pollen tube being formed which goes into the ovule. Now imagine this same pollen tube coming into the ovule here. This is the pollen tube which is coming inside the ovule carrying 2 male gametes or 2 male nuclei. Now when these 2 male nuclei enter into this, then fertilization takes place. How? The first male nuclei will combine with this egg cell. When this pollen tube will enter into it, the first male nuclei will combine with this egg cell and it will form zygote. And the second male nuclei afterwards will find its way towards polar nucleus. When the second male nuclei comes in contact with the polar nucleus, it forms endosperm. So, we can say like this, one male nuclei plus egg cell is equals to zygote, means the first male nuclei will combine with egg cell to form a zygote, and this process is known as syngamy. And another male nuclei plus 2 polar nuclei. Why I am calling it polar nuclei? Because these polar nuclei have come from the poles. At the time of development of embryo sac, these were present at the pole which have migrated into the center. So these polar nuclei, as soon as the fertilization takes place here, they combine to form a secondary nucleus, and they will now later on combine with the male nuclei to form endosperm. So, one male nuclei plus egg cell will give you zygote, and another male nuclei plus 2 polar nuclei combining will give you endosperm. Now, first fertilization is called syngamy, and the second one, as it carries 3 nucleus, it is called triple fusion. As there are 2 different types of fertilization in this, so it is called double fertilization. So if I'll say what is double fertilization, so it means syngamy and triple fusion taking place at the same time. If you see here, the fusion of one male gamete with the egg and fusion of second male gamete with the secondary nucleus or 2 polar nuclei is called double fertilization, which I have already explained you in the diagram. And this is how you're going to explain it. This is a very easy way to explain it. If you write like this, you get full marks. One male gamete, n number of chromosomes, combining with the egg cell, n number of chromosomes. The process is called syngamy, and the zygote is formed, which is of 2n number of chromosomes. Similarly, one male gamete with n number of chromosomes plus 2 polar nuclei. I said 2 polar nuclei, which means 2n. And combining with the process of triple fusion forms primary endosperm, which is of 3n. Means 3n number of chromosomes. So it is called triple fusion. So I hope it is clear with this topic. Now the next topic which comes is formation of endosperm. Zygote has already been formed, which we will discuss later. But the formation of endosperm first we are looking for. There are three types in which the endosperm is formed. Number one, free nuclear type. This is the most common type of endosperm formation, and the endosperm give rise to lot of free nuclei. And these free nuclei gets attached to the periphery and the cell wall is formed later on. If I show you the diagram is like this. If you see this diagram, this is the endosperm formation. Now, this suspensor and embryo, you just keep in view that later on we are going to discuss about this. This is the zygote which is being formed. I'm just right now talking of these free nuclei, which is endosperm. So this is free nucleus type or nuclear type endosperm. Now second one is cellular type. Now when we talk of cellular type, the primary endosperm nucleus divides and immediately forms a wall. Now when a wall is formed which will not let free nucleus to float, then this means that there will be no free nuclei and there will be only cellular type of construction. So not in case of coconut, as we have free nuclei, we don't have in peperomia. Peperomia may there will be a cellular type of endosperm, which will be like this. This is full cellular type. You cannot see any free nuclei in this. So this is a hard, tough endosperm. This will be the coconut type, which is the liquid, the little white portion that you eat. This is that, and the liquid portion which is in form of free nucleus. And the third one is the halobial type of endosperm. In halobial type of endosperm, it is intermediate between the free nuclear type and the cellular type. That means we will have a wall formation also, and we will have a free nucleus development also. An example is Vallisneria, which is an aquatic plant. We have already discussed in adaptation in hydrophytes may we have discussed about the pollination in Vallisneria. Now let's see the diagram for halobial type. See, this is the halobial type of endosperm. If we see this side, we have all chaliceal chamber, which is cellular type, and this all micropylar chamber is free nucleus type. So which means there are both the conditions present. So this was the endosperm formation in flowering plants. Now very soon we are going to talk in the next video, we are going to talk about the embryogeny or formation of embryo.